Hi guys, I can see a couple of you coming. Hi. Controversial be all right, okay. Hi Kata. That's one of my favorite locticians, by the way. Hi Joanne. Hi Faith. Oh my god, you're so mean. Jerry. Hi guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Hi. By the way, we are tuko wengi, so I think we can even start. Hi guys. Hi. Charms, karibu sana. I can see we're 30. Maybe we can wait until we're 20 to start. Millie Pimothaiga, thank you so much, guys. Malova Brown, thank you so much. We're close to 20, so let's just wait for 20 and then maybe we can just start. Just go straight to the point. Hi Wengashi. Yvonne, hi, I see you. Hi, thank you. Yeah, I can see we are 15. Okay, I think we can even start and then maybe the guys that come later are going to just join us because hopefully this is it's meant to be a discussion. I hope you guys can hear me. Hi Bunnies, one of my favorite clients for so many years. Hi Bunnies. Okay, so I think we can just start. My name is Stella Wairimunjoya. I am the co-founder and the owner of the hair color company. I'm sure a lot of you have interacted with me at the shop. I really hope you guys can hear me, by the way. Woo, nisikue hapa najiongelesha. Don't know how to make sure that you're hearing me. Okay, I guess. Bunnies, can you guys hear me? So yes, thank you. Yes, I'm so happy. Thank you for the response. Thank you so much. Okay, so my name is Stella Wairimunjoya. I am the founder and I'm also ninakwanga hapo customer care. So I'm sure everyone who has come to the shop almost always finds me there. I get so much joy interacting with you, and honestly, I have the shop has grown the brand has grown this big because of you, because we just started very simple with the waxes, and then through your feedback we were able to grow to where we are right now. So I'm so grateful for that. I think I will go straight to the questions that came in from yesterday, and please feel free to keep sending the questions. I'll keep looking at and to answer, because we really need her input, as she's the face of the brand, and she's a co-founder too, and she is the main experimenter when it comes to the colors. So she's constantly switching up, so we need to hear from her what she uses on her hair and how she's able to maintain her hair in that healthy state. So please feel free to keep asking the questions. Okay, so the first question that I got, I think I'll start with the temporary colors, because as you know, the temporary colors are the ones that are the easiest to use, the most fun to use, and all that. Please feel free to keep sending questions on the temporary colors. So for temporary colors, they come in two varieties. There is a spray. Basically, you're just spraying, and then the wax, which is sort of like this. It's a wax. So basically, those two are temporary colors. And I'll start with the questions that I got about the temporary colors. So someone asked how does one remove wax dye? Can it come off after a day? By the way, do I have someone here who has used the waxes? Because I feel like when I say it's a very easy product, you know, it's from me, because, you know, I have maybe used a lot of them, but I hope the people who are in this live with us can confirm that is if you've used the wax. The wax is what should I, oh, thank you, Kate. So the wax is a very simple, think of it as ikona pigment, mafuta ikona pigment. So basically you're literally taking, applying, and that's it. Taking, let me even take some, this is a wax. So taking, applying, mind you, this is a wig. So like you just apply just that way. Like, and then you let it dry, and then of course my hair will shrink back when it dries up. You really don't need a dryer either. Thank you, Teriki. Yeah, you have used the wax. It was easy to use and easy to wash off. So literally you can see right now my hair is pink. This was a pink wax. So for those asking, so does it damage my hair? What exactly is it doing to your hair? And my answer is always nothing. It's literally just sitting on your hair. It's just sitting on top of your hair. So basically it can't penetrate like the semi-permanent dyes, like the bleach kit, like the permanent dye. It cannot penetrate. It just sits on top of your hair, of your cuticle, right? So that's why you find us saying that it's a fun solution even for the kids. They can easily use them when they are going to school. In fact, we have some Montessori schools that actually buy the waxes for playtime. So trust us that for your kids, they will enjoy. So when they keep insisting that they want color on their hair, please feel free to get them the wax or the spray. The question was, how do you remove the waxes? You shampoo wash the wax. Like when you wash it, it comes off yote, kabisa, all of it just comes off. So of course, let me address the difference between the wax and the spray. And I hope the guys who have used both of them can testify to this, because again, the owner sometimes may seem as if they're just they're just saying things about their product, but I hope the people who have used can confirm. We're very open to feedback. So the spray, generally you spray it. It's liquid based, you spray it. Currently I don't have it here, but the wax, as you've seen, you manually apply it. So you see the spray will tend to fade out easily. So that means by like day 2, there is no spray. Like you're not going to see the spray. It's like all of it has sort of faded out on its own. While the wax, you can actually find that it will slowly fade out on its own over the week. So for example, this one that I have put here, if I decide to not wash it off, right, it will stay there. And then maybe day 2, faded out a little, day 3, a little more, like that. So you find that even by day 4, 5, you still have hints of the wax. Another thing is that the spray, it's like a tiny bottle, 30 ml. It's very tiny. As much as it's 500, it's tiny. And for most people with average sized hair, you find that you use it only once. So you'll find us telling the guys with locks, I know I have a question here from someone with locks, to just not waste their time. I mean, the color payoff will be good, but that spray, you'll find that you can't really use it for covering your entire head. So the wax is always a better option when it comes to longevity and also to how many times you can use it. You find that for the wax, for most people, I'm sure kuna watu hapa walinunua wax maybe last year na bado wako na ako katin tu kwa nyumba. They are thinking yeah, they will switch up wherever. It really lasts for quite a while. Yeah. I also, if you don't wash, how long can it stay? Lydia, I hope I've answered your question. If you don't wash, that is how for the spray, just a couple of days, let's say 2-3 days up. But for the wax, it will last for a really long time. And of course, you can always refresh your look. So someone has asked, Karimwangi, you've asked, can one use on relaxed hair? Definitely. I understand that on the page, biased towards since we started really getting interest with hair when the natural movement was coming in. I think the automatic response for us was to address natural hair so much, but for sure, we have had a client who collaborated with us and made a video of using the wax on relaxed hair. Maybe Kare, I'll make sure I put it on the story right after this so that you can at least maybe see how the wax comes off on relaxed hair and how that person was able to make it look like it's popping. It's a purple one. Purple is definitely a crowd favorite. So the answer is yes, you can use it on relaxed hair. For Faith, you have asked, can I use a blow dry to straighten in? First of all, now that we have said that the wax just sits on top of your hair, I want you to think of it as pigmented mafuta. So, like for example, this is my nimetumia this one to apply. So let's say this one that I haven't used to apply, and then I do this. So you can see it's sort of rubbing off. Of course, it hasn't dried kabisa, so it's easily rubbing off on friction. So you can imagine if I take a blow dry, I have a straightener here, so maybe it's a bit far, but if you try now to straighten, to use heat on the part that you've used the temporary color, of course it's going to fade out. Of course it's not going to be as popping as you hoped that it would be. So that's why we say for temporary waxes with heat and friction, it will definitely fade out the popping side of your temporary color. So maybe just try to first straighten the hair and then apply juju. For the people who want to go to the inside the dryer, again, heat and friction. If you go under the dryer, please use the cool setting, because in that way, you're not really melting or fading out the wax when you're trying to really get it to, to pop. So when it comes to blow dry and straightening hair, maybe do it afterwards. And if it's a dryer, try to use cool setting, so the wax can stay for a really long time. So for Cherise, I hope I got that right. You were asking the prices. As I said, the spray is 500 bob and the wax is 1000 bob. So I find that the people who buy the spray are mostly maybe going for this one event and they want to just get it over with. They're not really interested in experimenting with colors like a lot of you guys. So with the spray is 500, it's 30 ml, while the wax is 1000 bob, it's 120 grams, but you can use it for multiple applications. I hope the people who are here that have used the wax can testify to this, that you can use it for multiple applications, not once, not twice, not thrice. You can use it for a lot of applications. Hi guys, I can see a lot of you have joined. Thank you. Can it be used on dreads? Definitely, it can be used on dreads. Just think of it as just something that is sitting on top of your hair. So ideally for you, V Otieno, I'm also going to put a video for, just after this, I'll put on the live a video for someone who has used the waxes on dreadlocks. So again, when it comes to locks, I would really advise that you use the waxes, because the spray will sort of make you feel like you've just wasted your money, So try to be more open to using the wax. Stacy, you were telling me to recap. You just joined. Please feel free to ask me what exactly you would like me to repeat on that. I'm more than glad to assist. I think for now, for the questions on the wax bottle has a lot. Thank you, Teriki. Hey, I feel like I should invite you to be my co-host out here. So thank you so much. She has said the wax bottle has a lot. You can barely finish a quarter even on locks. Thank you so much. Of course, we encourage our clients by now who are part of the family to feel free to even send images and however, and we also are very open to collaboration. So just in case the creatives in here who have been thinking of something that they really want to do, feel free to reach out to us. Our email is also up with our profile. So Stacy has asked, do I have to bleach my hair for this? No. By the way, this is a very important question, because the temporary colors work on all hair shades, all hair types, all hair extensions. Again, temporary colors are very, very extremely easy to use. Think of it as mafuta ikona pigment. So even if you have black hair, even if you have red hair, even if you have brown hair, blonde hair, it doesn't matter. The wax will still work. Maybe a disclaimer is, like for example, our red, the red wax that we have, for the people who apply on black hair, they notice that it looks very different from the person who applies it on blonde hair. So for the black hair, it's going to be a darker shade of red, which we call a maroon red. And for the person who applies it on platinum or blonde hair, you notice that it has become a bit lighter, which makes a lot of sense, because even if I take a black surface and a white surface, colors will look different on both colors. Yeah. So Jay Wakoli, I'll answer about your permanent dye, because right now we are on temporary colors, but after we'll go to semi-permanent and then permanent colors. So I'll definitely answer your question on permanent dye. And then Black, you've asked, can it work on synthetic hair, like on Afro kinky braids? Let me tell you, this is synthetic hair. I love this wig, but it's synthetic hair. So you've seen the way I've puckered it, and see, it's still here. So definitely it can work. The temporary colors are the easiest colors to use. You can use on braids, you can use on wigs, weaves, whatever. I think maybe it's also important for me to say that don't expect temporary colors to look like semi-permanent and permanent colors. I know a few of you who've come to the shop and seen these swatches that we have up over on the counter and gone like, oh, so this is the red. No, that is the red for the semi-permanent dye, and it will look different because the semis and the permanent dyes penetrate the hair, like they get past the cuticle, they get in the cortex, and they penetrate basically, while the temporary colors just sit on top. So Stacy is also asking, so on temporary color, if I got maybe rained on, is it going to come off immediately and like stain my clothes? I've also gotten this question a lot, and it's very interesting because when it rains, unless it's ile mvua shower, you know, like when you're standing under the shower, you can alafu umwage maji mingi, you can feel that the color is sort of coming off. But from my experience, when it's raining and I have the temporary colors, it's usually a very light rain that will make the color fade out, but it won't make like maji sasa inatiririka all over. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but definitely if it's heavy rain, you can expect it to bleed. But for regular rain, you will just notice that imetoa intensity ya ile yenye umepaka. I think that's my response. And about staining your clothes, let's say for example, this one I've puckered. You can see my wig is not getting too quiffy on the shoulder. So unless you have like really long hair, that is when, again, friction hits. So unless you have really long hair, see, it will rub off on the clothes. Otherwise, if you don't have really long hair, the worst you're going to experience is something we call flaking. There are those tiny glitter-looking things that just sort of stick on your hair when the wax has dried. So they are not ile mbaya, the one that has now ruined your outfit and all that. They're just tiny flaky-looking things, but they won't spoil your outfit or your look for the day, so you don't have to worry about that. Wanjiro, you're asking about the daily maintenance. For the temporary waxes are definitely, I think what you, in the back of your mind, what you should be thinking about temporary waxes is how to protect everything around you. So let's say, for example, you're sleeping, of course, make sure that you cover your hair, because when you sleep, see, there is friction. So you just need to make sure that you cover your hair. And then for in the morning, you can wake your hair up. That's I think that's what we call it as naturals. You wake it up by just spritzing water or your moisturizer, just kawaida. If you feel like your temporary wax has faded out, you can always take some and return it. I hope I've answered your question, Wanjiro. If I've not, tell me. The pink side on your hair, is it from the gel or the spray? Oh, Stacy, I have used this. This is the wax. I've used the wax. So I hope that helps too. Do you have crazy color? I'll definitely answer that. So okay, I hope I've answered all the questions about temporary colors. In case I haven't, please feel free to ask after that. So right now I'm just going to go to the to the permanent colors. I'm really hoping Marion can join us after a while, just so that she can tell us more about the semi-permanent colors, since she's the one that uses a lot. And even the formulations that we have we formulated because of her being very open and willing to experiment with her hair. So I'm really hoping she can join us a bit later. She's coming from work, so let's see if she can join us. So I'm just going to talk about, first of all, there's someone who asked about breakage with temporary colors. Temporary colors can't really damage your hair. Again, they're just sitting on top of your hair, so really it does nothing for your hair. So I'm just going to talk about, to cross over and talk about permanent dyes, just in case you have more questions on the temporary colors. Please feel free to just ask. I'm looking out, so I'm just going to answer. Maybe I'll even tell you what colors are available too. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the permanent dyes, because I feel like that one is the one that usually needs a lot of education. And trust me, the education is not only from us and you, it's even from the salons. Everyone has to keep educating themselves on these permanent colors and trying out so that they can get the correct formulation. Okay, so for the also remember that we have a giveaway. So I'm just going to pick one random person or two and give the wax and the spray. Probably the ones who haven't yet tried and are curious about it. I'll just pick a random person, but we'll do that in the end. Yeah. So Tariki is saying, with the hair wax, it almost feels like the hair is slightly heavier than the normal weight. Yes, I support that, because again, you're just putting something on top of your hair. It's just chilling on top of your hair, so it might feel as if there's something on you, you know. So let's talk about permanent dyes. First of all, I think we had done a post a while back where we were saying that permanent dyes, most of the people think permanent dyes, that means that my color, when I apply it, it's permanently there, it will never fade out, you know. It's just going to stay for months on months on months, and I'm just going to have these permanent dyes. But the truth of the matter is that permanent dyes does not mean that now that shade is the one that is going to stay forever. It just means that it permanently alters the structure of your hair. You maybe if some of you were good in biology, you remember us being told about your hair being made up of proteins, and also part of the composition is melanin. My connection is breaking. Oh, I hope that has been rectified. So you have melanin in your hair, which there is your melanin, which brings the brown and the black colors, and then there is pheomelanin, which has orange and red. Salonists, I'm sure you understand what I mean. So you have melanin in your hair, and the part of, check your connection. Oh no, let me check again. My connection. I hope now it's a bit better. I've put both Wi-Fi and also my mobile data. I hope it's better now. Okay, so as I was saying, permanent dyes usually break down the melanin together with bleach. Actually, they break down the melanin in your hair and put artificial pigment in there. So that is what is meant by it's permanently altering the structure of your hair. It does not mean that permanent dye will just last and last. With permanent dyes, you do have to retouch after a while, and you do have to maintain it still for the pigment to stay again popping, you know. So with permanent dyes, don't go into it thinking, yes, this shade, it's permanently there, oh my god, it's just going to last for a really long. No, that is not the truth. And just like all the other dyes, permanent dyes usually fade out with shampoo wash, and also environmental factors, UV damage. When you swim, permanent dyes will fade out. They will fade out. So the part of it that we try to address is the maintenance bit of it. and how exactly you can increase longevity, and also during the application, how you can ensure that your hair does not get damaged. So those are the parts that we really try to emphasize from our side. So now that I hope we've understood what permanent. If you haven't understood what a permanent dye is, please feel free to ask me to expound a bit more. But I hope I've explained it really well. So with permanent dyes, you will notice, I think this is an example of a permanent dye that we have. It's the other way around, but okay. Usually they have these numbers over here. That's how we determine how you're going to apply the color. So this permanent dye usually comes with oxidizing cream, which are bought separately. It's oxidizing cream. So if you've been to the shop or on the site or even on the page, that one can't work without the other one. One of the questions that I got was, okay, so I'm buying permanent dye. Do I really need to buy the oxidizing cream? Why are you telling me to buy the oxidizing cream? You know. So I'm just going to address that, or maybe try to break it down a little. A permanent dye on its own, it's inactive. Even if, like, I opened here and tried to put the dye on my skin, like, there's nothing it's going to do. On its own, it's just inactive, right? So you need the oxidizing cream, or what we call developer, or what we call hydrogen peroxide cream, to activate it. So you can't really use a permanent dye on its own. I'm sure even for most of you who have used box dye, the box dye usually comes with two things. So there's the dye itself, and then there's the oxidizing cream, which you have to mix together so that it can oxidize it and it can deposit the dye, or it can lift the dye, your hair. That is for the bleach, yeah. So you can't use permanent dye without this. So the purpose of the dye, let me just address this, because this dye, the way it is, it's the main component to it, apart from the artificial pigment, is ammonia. That's why last week, I'm sure you saw a post from my friend who addressed Nyambura, who made a video about she's allergic to ammonia, right? And I don't even know why I'm smiling, because literally her face I should stop laughing. Her face sort of got swollen up after using the regular dye, right? And that is where we started addressing this thing for ammonia-free dyes and the regular dyes, right? So the main ingredient that can maybe make you or rather you are allergic to in the dye is the ammonia. And the purpose of the ammonia is basically to lift your cuticle. See the way your hair is, there's a cuticle level, there's a cortex, and then now there's a medulla. So the cortex is where all the action is happening. But you need first to lift your cuticle so that all these products can get in. So the purpose of the ammonia in here is to lift, and then also it has artificial pigment, which basically switches up your color to whatever color it is that you want. Maybe ginger, maybe red, auburn, whichever. So the oxidizing cream, the main ingredient is hydrogen peroxide. I get this question a lot about, can I just use